Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna be doing the trading recap for March 10th to March 14th. I just woke up, so if I sound tired, that's why. Um, Anyways, coming into today, this is Monday the 10th, I believe. Yep. I honestly can't remember, but I believe I was bearish until previous day low. Then I wanted to see longs towards like these unsponsored Asia highs, London highs, and the new week opening gap. But I don't think we ended up getting that. I think this was just like a dump day. Yeah. So we tapped into this daily for value gap. And then I think we were like looking to see this 1 minute to get like longs, whatever. But we just kept on dumping through it, chopping around. And 11 came around and we had nothing. Like from pretty much 10 to 11, we just chopped downwards. There's not really anything you can take or you should be taking in this. It's just 400 points straight down. But in PM, I was watching. I didn't take anything, but I don't know why this is here. But yeah, basically, what I wanted to see here was just more of a continuation to the downside, as well as a mech model targeting unfilled 5, which we did get. I believe we got a tiny 2-minute inversion right here. Oops. Yeah, tiny 2-minute right here. And it played out perfectly. Yeah. So again, this is Monday PM, so I'm not actually gonna take that, but it was a great trade either way. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really upset that I didn't take it, but it would have made me even more green on the week. So if I did take it, that would have been great, but it's whatever. Now moving on to Tuesday. Where is it? Over there. I might have just got too far. Okay, I did. Okay, here we go. So coming into Tuesday, I definitely think I wanted to be bearish. I wanted to see us tap into probably like some sort of fair value gap that's here. Okay, we're already trading inside of a 4 hour. So that's probably, yeah, I was kind of aiming for this internal high to get taken out. It didn't. So then I just wanted some sort of internal structure here. And we ended up getting that. We swept this buy side and got an S&T, I'm assuming. And then I wanted to see us trade down to London lows as well. I think originally I didn't want to be bearish just because we have the London lows so close, but we took them out so quickly that I couldn't be bearish until we moved back up and rebalanced like the top side of this range. But yeah, this day was it was interesting just because like there was stuff you could take. I guess yeah, we had 10 a.m. news, so you can't take that right there, even though it looked good. But then we just got a lot of like chop. It's like just a big range, and it just kept on making the range bigger, just taking out the previous internal high or low. So I sat through all of this. I just wanted to see us make some proper structure instead of trading in here, just because I didn't really like how this looked. I think, yeah, there was a 2, but it's just like it wasn't clean enough for me to take any sort of short up here. So instead, I waited for us to train to like OT of the range. We got an SMT with these Asia lows with ES, and I was waiting for us to sweep those Asia lows on ES so I could see a reaction, something to sponsor the mech model to the upside, which we did get. We got a 3-minute mech model right here. And this trade I did take on my funded, or eval, whatever you want to call it. There we go. But yeah, as you can see, good trade. Stop loss placement is pretty much perfect there. I think it was pretty much, yeah, right below this wick. My R would have been kind of scuffed if I put it below that wick, so I just decided not to, and it was fine. Gave it enough breathing room, which is good. And yeah, that trade worked out. So that was the first one of the week. Yeah, like I said, just look for like a, yeah, I believe so this manipulation leg, I put a fib there. Look for some sort of rejection off of it. OT and the -1 lined up perfectly, so I was kind of looking for something here. And then as soon as we took out Asia lows, I was anticipating a reaction to rebalance the range, which we got. And I don't think I traded the rest of the day. Yeah, so we can just move straight on to Wednesday. Oops. So if I remember correctly, I don't think I got anything on Wednesday. Yeah, I definitely didn't. Because this was CPI, I think. We left this data high right under this 4-hour devil's mark. 4-hour fair value gap devil's mark right there. And I was really just like anticipating us to trade up to it, take it out on market open. But we pretty much just traded extremely close to it and then left it and then dumped down. And I wasn't willing to short anywhere in here because of that. And then data lows got taken. Not yet, no. I guess they got taken. Yeah, there you go. And I don't know, I wasn't really feeling longs either, honestly. Like these being taken out was my condition for the day, and we didn't get that. So I just didn't really want to trade, and I kind of just sat the rest of the session out. And yeah, I mean, no setups really even presented themselves. Like, I don't think there's anything amazing I could have taken in there or would have wanted to take. Like, there's this 3-minute, but it just wasn't really sponsored enough. Like, we're not even respecting fair value gap. We don't even, like, we didn't even take that. I don't know if we had an SMT with it. No. So yeah, it's like an iffy day. Just better to sit this one out. And that's what we did. And yeah, moving on to Thursday. I think Thursday I did take a trade. Okay. Thursday. I don't really think I wanted to be bearish, but I wanted to see these data highs get taken out as well as like this buy side before being bearish. But from what I can see, we didn't do that. But let's see. Yeah. So maybe I might have even been looking for longs after we took this out. But we probably, yeah, we got a scuffed mech, so we couldn't take that just because this took out this internal 5-minute, and then there's like no other mech model that we could really take for longs. So I kind of just sat through the rest of the morning. Didn't really get much. And that was that. And going into PM, going to PM. 1 p.m. opened right over here. And originally, I did see this trade, which I kind of hesitated on taking, which I don't think was smart, just considering how perfect of an internal model it was. Like, we perfectly tapped this 5, rejected off of it for a 1 p.m. open high into the 5, and then a low close, get this 1 minute inversion. So I could have easily just shorted here and targeted like this internal and sell side, which I was looking at, and then break even there. And this would have worked perfectly. But yeah, I hesitated on it, which just wasn't smart in any way. And it didn't end up working for me, which sucks. But you know, I'll learn not to hesitate on things like that. Definitely not a good idea to hesitate, especially on like I'm always hesitating on things that are this obvious. So that's when I know like if something's this obvious, I just need to take it. There's no point hesitating because I ended up taking a much poorer trade after. I was kind of just honestly forcing a bunch of confluences together, if I'm being honest. Like, I mean, you know, it definitely has a good idea behind it, but I don't think that everything lined up, which is why this trade did end up losing. So anyways, we took out this internal high that we made 1 p.m. Made an SMT. It was a 2 p.m. just opened high, no wick on the bottom except for that tiny wick. We had an unfilled 5, so this was mech. And it was a 2-minute inversion. So like this, stops were here. TP was just at the 2 p.m. low because I was assuming we were going to put a wick on a 4-hour. There we go. But yeah, pretty much just took us out. And then later on in the session at 3 p.m. is when we actually got a proper trade in. So we took out this internal high, which is much more significant. I believe there's a 30-minute. Yeah, so unfilled 30-minute sponsoring that move, right? We might have had an SMT. I don't think so. But either way, right? I believe. Yeah, so this 1 minute right here was the actual entry for shorts, which did end up working. SMT, you don't need that. And I don't know, it doesn't really matter what we target. Let's just say that 5. Break even there. Yeah, so this trade would have worked. I'm sure we actually did end up putting in the wick on the 4-hour. Not yet. I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. But that was the trade that I probably should have taken, you know, having much more reasons for it to work behind it, obviously, than this. So that's something I'm going to be focusing on this week is not getting so blindsided when I miss a good setup like this, right? And then try to like force something after. That's just not, you know, it's not smart whatsoever. This was a good trade, but it definitely wasn't the greatest trade. Like a lot of my losses are trades that are kind of like this. So cutting out these kind of like forced, less sponsored to the downside trades, like mech model isn't just going to work because you get an inversion and you have an unfilled fair value gap below it. You need much more like involved to sponsor that move. So this was obviously my bad for that reason, right? Like we didn't tap an unfilled fair value gap. We didn't really take out any kind of crazy liquidity. Like this isn't crazy liquidity. It was obviously good enough that we had this rejection to the downside, but it wasn't good enough to sponsor a full move, right? Like that's not what we were seeking. Obviously, we were seeking the unfilled 30 and this buy side. Also a negative 4 standard deviation, so that would be the end of the buy model. And this obviously worked, right? So coming into this week, that's what I'm focusing on, is taking things that actually stick out to me, things that I'm sort of hesitating on, but I know are really good, really high quality, is what I should be taking. Oops. There's 930. Bro, I look cooked in the camera. Holy. Okay, yeah. This day was weird. I don't think we got any trades. Yeah, okay. I know what happened here. So, a lot of people are looking for shorts to data lows. I honestly think I just didn't like it. Like, the data lows swept a ton of liquidity that I was looking to trade towards. So, it was just kind of scuffed, and we ended up just not taking data lows at all. So, that was the theme last week, not taking data lows or highs. I don't know why, but it just was, right? But anyways, during 11, we traded up and we had this amazing PDI. And what a PDI is we accumulate and then manipulate and then distribute. And basically it means it's a pre-distribution inversion. So you're catching the inversion that sponsors the distribution leg. That's exactly what happened here. We got a 1 minute inversion. Stop loss below these bodies. TP at previous day high is what I should have done, and I knew I should have done, but I'll explain what happened here. So I ended up going in lighter size on just because it's 11 a.m. on a Friday, right? Like even if this trade is pretty high conviction, like 9 out of 10 times this works, right? Especially to at least this internal high just to get break even. But I just lowered the size. I don't know why. It wasn't smart, but I didn't end up making that much more on this trade. But yeah, basically what happened was I entered 3 micros. I took off my micro at the break even, and then I full closed as soon as we made an SMT at previous day high with ES. What I should have done, and I knew I should have done, because I had taken off one contract when we made the SMT, and then I was kind of like thinking like, should I just let this run to previous day high? And my gut was telling me, yes, you know that's smarter to do. But I didn't leave the runner. I just closed it around the same spot, and I should have ended up leaving the runner because it would have hit. So yeah, I mean, that's obviously what I should have done. So there are definitely things coming into this new week that I will be focusing on, and I just spoke to you guys about. But that was my week. We ended it in the green, so it's whatever, right? Like this week, I'm hoping, and I know I'll have an even bigger green week. But yeah, great week regardless. And thank you guys for listening. God bless.